Hey everybody, future player JDK here. This is round 2 for my Saturday Night Live season 44 episode 4 review. Ideally, I'm not going to ever have to do this again. Ignorance is a fun thing. It's a learning process. So I went back and rewatched, and that way now I'm able to go back and correct a few things as well as add a few things. So I'm going to start with the cold opener. They chose the Caravan, which once again was a fantastic choice. I did notice though that they definitely did have Halloween flavor. They did the whole not fear mongering with the ghost girl coming at the screen, so that was definitely fun. Also, I went back and checked in, so it is a completely different character that Cicely was doing for this cold opener versus the season opening cold opener, which she was California Representative Feinstein in. However, that being said, I also went and looked more into this Judge Jean person, and her Fox show and her are, man, when I thought Adie Bryant was doing good as her thing, Cicely nailed it. I thought she just nailed it, but she really nailed it. So I'm definitely going to lay a link for y'all to check out if you don't know what I'm talking about. Let's see. I really enjoyed the joke about the service elephants. I thought that was pretty funny and ridiculous. Great imagery there. I also enjoyed when they mentioned 300 miles a day. I can only imagine. That was pretty funny. They did a clip of Black Friday, which also was, I swear, a direct reference to that show, and I will make a point to put the link in so everyone can check that out. That leads to the Five Timers Club. A few things I don't know why I didn't mention, but Candice Bergen came back, which is great to see her. SNL alum as far as I'm concerned. She was back in the day 70s. And then also to see Drew Barrymore back was awesome. I haven't seen her in a while. I know she's busy being a parent and Adam Sandler films. They both were great. They both had line delivery. I enjoyed the Pete Davidson thing, for example. It's some drink that gets the job done, but you don't know what's going on with it. Uh, let's see. Also, Tina Fey. I didn't mention her either, but of course I should. She's also amazing. The other thing I was going to say is that they all seemed a little stiff, but it's live TV for starters, so I'm not really going to comment much on that because I can only imagine what it's like right now, and I can't wait to be there and find out. Also, I feel like the Seth Rogen jokes are really it's like every single time now. I want to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure they always do the Seth Rogen stuff. Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, I get it, but really, come on, it's a bit old now. Which led to the Benihana thing. I'm not going to say much because I already said pretty much everything. I definitely think from looking at it again a couple times, Leslie was definitely prepared to break. So that means either someone was off stage messing with her, or she knew from the the pre episode they do before they do the live episode. Then she might have already seen it coming. That leads me to say it was not Melissa Villanueva. It was actually Heidi Garner doing that part. So that explains why I thought, oh, gee, it doesn't even look like her, because it wasn't her. Heidi Garner, though, is really growing on me. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's because I'm looking at a different light now. I'm looking at it like people that will be co-workers with me, potentially. But I definitely think that the midterm sketch hit its mark. Which leads into, now these are my three together collectively that really show the shining work of Second City writing and Second City review and all of the things that go with Second City, because it starts off, they did a news thing with a woman that's a weather reporter, and so I'm going to just kind of give an example of how it stacks. So it starts with her, she accidentally hit somebody, but she's sure they're fine. And then you're like, okay, so that might be where they're going. But then it leads into Jonah Hill showing up as her boyfriend, and he's proposing to her. And so then she says, I'm going to just go to the weather. Well, he's wearing a green shirt. So then his green shirt affects by the green screen. So now he's a floating head. And then music drops, and then he raps really badly, which leads him to misspell marry me with Mary as a name, which just makes him look even more bad. And then he brings out her mother, but not her mother, her blood mother, who's been in jail and apparently always asks for money or something. And then, so she walks off, and you think, oh no. And then it turns out that she already had prepared a proposal. So, next thing you know, her coworkers bust out in t shirts with it, balloons drop, dancers show up, and they're all singing a song for him. So, it was very funny. And then, one final callback to her hitting somebody, which was just a nice little, topper. And then that went from that to Divided We Stand, which once again, I don't really personally, musicals aren't my jam. I enjoy them and such. That being said, though, I did notice a few things. I think it might be a local joke because it seems like the main punchline of it was the fact that they're not diverse and they're doing something and they're doing diverse parts or something along those lines. I did enjoy the joke about the director having 3 raps. Oh, and then I found out he's the director. So that was pretty fun. I definitely think it hit the nail on the head, though. What I said before, I still agree with for whoever whoever's really appreciating this musical humor. That led into the high school driver's ed. So this is, again, really showing Second City writing, I feel, because it starts with Kate already on the ground, and you can see she's already breaking because she knows how silly it is already. So it starts stacking with her with the Heeley shoes, and she's on the ground, and then she begins over-exaggerating things, how, oh, both legs broken, trash can falled over, spaghetti in the hair, and then the teacher falls more at one point, which is, oh, she's too frail. And then she starts oversharing, and they're like, no, don't overshare. And this reminded me an awful lot of an improv game that I enjoy to do and have enjoyed performing, and it's called Lower Status, or One Lower. And the whole goal is to get as ridiculous as you can possibly get with a lower status than your partner in the scene. So this reminded me an awful lot of that game. And then she gets into, the camera gets out, she take a whiz on the teacher and spit on my head, and then, she finds the Heelys and it's too late or something along those lines. But all these things really show Second City talent, and I really want to emphasize that. And I also wanted to mention, I've been taking Second City online classes, and anyone out there who isn't in a city that has a Second City located near them and wishes to have some Second City training, I highly recommend you go to their website and take their online writing courses. I am currently in the 103 and working my way through, and it is definitely worth it. There's a lot of information you can get from that class. So then after that, it went into Weekend Update. Now, I've already said everything I can say about Pete, let's try and do that thing. That being said, though, Melissa Villaseñor, she came out with, I'm pretty sure it was a debut of a new character that I hadn't seen before, and it's every teen girl suspect in a Law and Order episode. And it reminded me a lot. It's very similar to when you had Vanessa Bayer on, and her time there, and the character she would do on Weekend Update. So I thought that was great. I couldn't even tell it was Melissa, and that really was nice. And then that goes to the America's Got Talent. Now, here's where ignorance is great, and so is being half awake when you watch the episodes, right, live and such. I'm just going to say right now, I'm so happy Ego was in that one. So she was actually playing a Scary Spice. So Ego was definitely in this episode, which means that basically Moffat was the only one that I think I didn't see for this episode, at least. Which is fine. Not every player has to be in every episode. So I definitely feel like, as far as the AGT skit goes, there was a lot of great character choices as far as being the opposite, which is something we've been working on in improv, as far as, when you are something like this, say, serious, but then your character is like really happy or jovial or something. I thought the coma was a nice choice for the final one. It's definitely over the top, which is the point, and right on the edge of the line of comedy. and so that was good. Which is then there was Pugswigs, and I just want to say, watching it a few more times, it's very similar to those porn star sales ladies bits that they used to do. Once again, back when Vanessa Bayer was a cast member, and I enjoyed that. A few things I enjoyed was like the wordplay and things like that. The Ed Sheeran one, in love with the shape of the pug wig, that kind of thing. And still, definitely not a front, right? And I think they can definitely play around with that in the future. Uh, that being said, also at the end, ignorance is a great thing. Re-educated myself. Ego was right there, front and center, green dress, looking happy. So she definitely wasn't sick, and she definitely was fine, and she definitely was in the show. So I'm happy, and I look forward to seeing tonight's episode because this is actually Saturday when I'm filming this right now. In fact, the next episode airs in about a half hour, so I'm gonna probably put this up if I can. Takes a long time, and that's about it. I really look forward to getting better at this, and I'm thinking that in the future it's gonna be a lot more well thought out, and I certainly am going to make a point to watch the episode a few more times before posting my video to the internet. However, it's okay to be wrong, and I'm fine with that. I look forward to growing, and once again, this is JDK, and thanks for coming along on the road to SNL.